Hey there, Carlton. Nicole here with your weekly Crusader updates. In the years 1932 and 1933, a genocide took place in Ukraine. Millions of innocent men, women, children, and infants were deliberately starved to death. This tragic time in history is known as Holodomor, which in Ukrainian means death by starvation.
The Holodomor was a brutal act of genocide perpetrated by Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin against the Ukrainian nation and anyone who resisted the communist regime. Stalin sought to crush Ukrainian national sentiment by destroying the nation's political, cultural, and religious leadership. In 1932 and 33, he unleashed a famine against the Ukrainian countryside. Millions of men, women, and children died of starvation.
They were taking away the living, those men who carted away the corpses. They were barely able to walk themselves, and my mother protested, saying that they were taking people who were still alive. But they said, "We're not coming back to this village a second time to take them away."
The assault by famine on the Ukrainian peasant population was accompanied by a wide-ranging destruction of Ukrainian cultural and religious life and slaughter of the Ukrainian intelligentsia.
In keeping with communist doctrine, Stalin and the Communist Party set out to destroy all private property and nationalize all commerce and industry. In 1928, he instituted the first five-year plan, which aimed at rapid industrialization and increased militarization of the Soviet Union at any cost. Ultimately, he sought total control over the Soviet population. He turned to the most exportable resource, Ukrainian grain, to finance this plan. Collectivization of the countryside was forcibly imposed. Villagers' property, including all livestock, crops, and food supplies, was expropriated by the Soviet state. Many thousands were forced out of their homes.
There were 10 of us, and only 2 of us survived. My father was sent to Siberia. They took all the livestock and told my father to drown it, but he said he'd rather sit in prison than drown the livestock. They took everything. In our house, they broke all the windows, all the doors. We had icons. They destroyed the icons and took all the linen, and we couldn't sleep in the house. We had to sleep outside.
On August 7th, 1932, the Soviet authorities passed a decree that made the theft of even a few grain stalks punishable by 10 years imprisonment or death.
I went with my sister to collect wheat stalks in a nearby field. There was a guard watching over the field, and you know, he shot at us.
While the population starved, the Soviet government exported millions of tons of Ukrainian grain. The Soviet regime continually denied that the Holodomor had occurred, and any mention of this mass genocide was strictly forbidden.
We are very proud that Saskatchewan was the first of the provinces and territories in North America to adopt legislation recognizing the Holodomor as an act of genocide. The government of Saskatchewan has designated the week of November 21st to 27, 2016 as Holodomor Memorial Week. The MHTC had a great show Sunday at the Rollinton. Thank you to everyone who came out to watch and support an amazing club. Now over to Cody.
Both boys and girls senior volleyball teams finished their season strong this past weekend. Well done to everyone who competed. Basketball trials continue all week. If you hadn't had the chance yet to attend, please speak to Miss Ferguson in the general office. Wrestling started yesterday, but there's still time to join if you're interested. Practice is Monday to Thursday in the wrestling gym, or the White Gym, at 3:30. All boys and girls in grades 9 to 12 are welcome. No prior experience of wrestling is required. See you then. That's all for this week. Tune in next week for more Crusader updates.